Welcome back to Chapter 1. I have the DLC so I can choose what color Amisha is. The first part of Chapter 1 is what I call the Prologue, is actually the same as Glitchless. There's no skips. So if you'd like to skip ahead to the first glitches, this is the timestamp you have to go to. You can also find the timestamps in the description. I will though still show it if people want to learn from here directly. So the very first thing we're going to do, which is going to be present in other parts of the run, is reload the checkpoint immediately as fast as possible. As soon as you see this symbol in the corner that indicates that a checkpoint has been reached, which is the same moment you get control of Amisha, you can restart the checkpoint, which skips a little bit of the dialogue. So as for this part of the run, it's just walking towards the apple tree. Here there's actually an invisible wall, so if you want to get through it, you have to pass through here, through these trees right here, and then we continue to go straight. Here he is. So we finally get past this obstacle right here, and we go straight towards the rocks. The thing that our dad wants us to do is shoot down these apples with our sling, our famous sling. We will shoot down exactly one apple and then ignore the rest of them. Here are the rocks, which we will patiently wait to be able to pick up. Here it is. This is how I usually position myself. You can't go too far ahead because he wants us to be behind this branch here. So we just aim as fast as possible, and then as soon as the apple is destroyed, you just dodge forwards or just walk forwards. Here, Leon is gonna get triggered by a boar or something, and as soon as you see the checkpoint in the left corner, in the right corner, you can start going towards the branch there. Just bolt over this. It happened to me one time to clip through the fallen branch, just straight up, but I haven't found a way to replicate it. Here you can't dodge or anything, so just running as straight as possible towards the next part. Here is we have to wait a little bit for our dad again. There's that boar. The game wants us to sneak towards it and then attack him with our sling. We don't currently have control of our sling, as you can see, but actually as soon as we can move, we can actually just go change here, and when you see the checkpoint, you actually will get back control of your sling. Basically just press up and left and then backwards, just move around here until you get control of the swing. I recommend you hold the sling button when you try it, so you can tell immediately that you have control of it, and then just shoot the boar. Skip cutscene. Here we can actually dodge forwards and run again. There's a little bit of speed tech with dodging towards the ledges, because dodging is faster than running, but then Amisha stops for a little bit, so it's actually only useful when you're against cutscenes or you are gonna fall from a ledge or gonna climb a ledge. So just at the end of things you can dodge to, I guess, save some frames. Not really crucial. Here we are going through mud. When you're going through mud, either holding aim throw or aim the sling will make you go faster. Aim throw is slightly faster, but we can't do that right now, so just aim your slingshot instead, just to get through the mud a little bit faster. Here there's this tree that is falling down. You can dodge. You're supposed to crouch beneath it to get through it, which is obviously a little bit slow. So you can actually dodge through it, but it's not doesn't always work. If it fails, I recommend you just crouch and just go forwards. Or if you want to practice, just go back and just do it again. There's instances of this in a couple of places, so I recommend you try to get good at it, but it's not the biggest time loss, as you can see. You can fail and just crouch and go through it, then just vault. Here there is actually a cutscene. Amisha is gonna look at that board on the ground. You can't see it here, but I'll show you, and stop running here like this. If you look at it, so to avoid it, you can just look up instead and keep running. You'll go faster than here. She actually then starts to walk like this, so it's really important that you don't look at the board. Don't look at the board, just look up instead and run through here, dodge through this. This is easier to dodge through. And here is Leon, Savage. You can dodge to avoid a little bit of compulsory walking. That ends the prologue, and now we move on to Get Hugo, which has the very first glitch of the run. The only glitch in this section, though. This is one of the simplest glitches. You just walk up to this wall and just climb it. And up you go. I keep pressing crouch for some reason. Funnily enough, that kind of glitch, which is climbing through a wall, or I guess a roof in that case, is also the last glitch in the run, so that's kind of neat. We climb on top of things that we're not supposed to a couple of times in this run, so that's nice. I've been desperately trying to understand if strafing, so walking like this, holding left and also forwards is faster than just running forwards. I have not been able to understand if it's true. So if you know, let me know. We get this tablecloth here to speed up this dialogue a little bit. We do that a couple times in this run as well, so it's something normal. And we get to Hugo. Hello, Hugo. You can skip the cutscene immediately and call him as fast as possible. After we go here, we just go here, and from now on, we are crouching, going very slow. Don't go too fast in that room, or he might spot you, but also don't worry too much. Here, you actually stop. You're forced to stop, but also you have to wait for him to... you have to wait a little bit. I wait for him to put his sword back, because if you're too fast, he will spot you and you'll have to start from the checkpoint. From this moment onwards, you can just continue walking without stopping. It's chill. Here we get to Beatrice. We have a little bit more glitchless to go through before we can actually start to glitch. You can't really move that much forwards of Beatrice. She has to get to places, so there's no much time to save here. Just Just don't fall too much behind Beatrice, not to lose time. Here you can make her push you, it's kind of funny. Here you know that you can go forwards when Hugo says it worked, because if he doesn't, means you haven't gotten the checkpoint and this scene won't play out. This scene has to play out for Beatrice to get here, so we can move forwards. Here she is, so she's coming. When you see her coming, just come here and just wait for her to be able to climb. And here we are to the triple dodge skip. That's what I decided to call it. This is the first hard trick in the run. It's one of the hardest in the run. So I don't recommend you start practicing this one first too much, because you will go insane. I will show you once fast, mostly because I don't have much time to spare, and then we'll talk about it more in detail. So first you get these rocks, because you need them. Then dodge this guard. Don't start running before dodging him, because he might spot Beatrice. Here you might get very unlucky and get hit by a spear, that one that you just heard hitting. And then you clip through. I cannot stay here or I'll get spotted, so I'm just gonna move right over here. But that is the trick. It's a very time-sensitive skip. You only have 1, 2, if you're very fast 3, but very likely just 2 tries before you get killed by a guard. I'm gonna use this door to instead explain you the dodge clip and show you the whole trick again with this one, which is not time sensitive, though it is harder than the other one. They won't spot me unless I'm very unlucky for however long it takes you to do this trick, so we have time to explain. Then I'll show you both of the clips again. So the dodge clip works like this. You dodge and then you aim, the throw, and move at the same time. This is basically the inputs that you need. You technically only need the dodge and the throw animation, but I think moving towards the direction of where you want to clip through makes it easier. I found that it makes it more consistent. So the basic elements are this. You have to aim the dodge at the quote-unquote weak point you want to pass through, clip through. In this case, it's the middle of this gate. Seems like the middle of gates is the most vulnerable quote-unquote point. So you want Amisha and Hugo to dodge towards him. The hitbox for Amisha and Hugo is like merged. It's not just Amisha, it's like in the middle of them. So I aim for having their hands, I guess, on top of the bottom of this gate, as you can see. And then I put the torch in between these two pieces of wood you can see in the gate. And then you don't need to like press any directional buttons before dodging, you just have to dodge. And if you're doing it right, they will like barely move right or left and move and just get stuck against the wall this way. It doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna work, but it's a good sign. After dodging, or immediately after, or basically at the same time, hold your aim button, which normally is control, but for me is right mouse button, and the directional button. So you aim, the dodge, I guess. You look at your reference point, you dodge and aim, and you clip through like this. So I'm gonna show you the double clip again, and I'll probably put a slow down and the inputs on displays to make it easier to understand. here it is. So as you can see, in the first clip, I only held D, so right, to clip through the door, and then here I held up right. I have found that not all the clips are the same, and it seems to me that some work best if I only hold right, some work best if I only hold forwards. But I do think it's very relevant to like where you're pointing at when dodging, where you're looking with the camera. So the important part is that you find a setup that works for you. I find that these work for me fairly consistently. I rarely fail it too many times in a row. In general, about chapter 1, I think it's one of the 3 hardest chapters. So if you're not getting this fast enough, don't get discouraged. I think the first clip is in particular is like one of the hardest in the game because it's so time sensitive and you only get 2 tries. In most other clips in the game, you get as many tries as you want. Of course, that means losing time, but at least you won't get killed. This second clip is not time sensitive, as I said, but it is harder, so you need a more precise setup than the first one, but you can take your time with it. This third clip instead is somewhat time sensitive because there is a guard right here in the other side of the wall. Another thing that is relevant to this whole section is Beatrice can get caught if you're unlucky. So if you see guards getting alerted very far away and you have found this checkpoint right here, I think we already triggered it, do reset to checkpoint because Beatrice getting spotted will give you a game over. Resetting to this checkpoint right here will spawn Beatrice near you, but it's not that big of a deal. It just makes it a little bit more time sensitive, so you have to be a little bit faster. This third clip, as I said, has a little bit more of a setup. So the first thing to do here is to alert the guard that is right there, and then clip through that gate. We need to clip through that gate. So we're just gonna do that very fast by just running, telling Hugo to not follow us because it's faster to go through obstacles without him. Get this part because we need it later. And then as soon as Hugo comes back, we clip through this gate, which is again vulnerable, more vulnerable in the middle part. Here is the last trick. As you can see, if I walk over here, I get stopped even though I'm holding W because I am against an invisible wall. So right there, there's a cutscene trigger that we cannot reach because the game wants us to have Beatrice with us. We don't care about Beatrice. Instead, we're gonna bully the invisible wall for the first time in this game. There's a few that will be bullied. The best way I've found to do this is have Amisha and Hugo face the other way, so opposite the invisible wall. Always holding forwards, just move the camera left and right like this. You move it left until Amisha and Hugo start moving and then immediately point it towards where you want to go. So here it went wrong because Amisha actually and Hugo are looking at that. So you want to avoid that. As I said, point the other way. You can also, if you want to do it faster, you can aim your sling or whatever, the throw. Hold W and then start moving. So you want Amisha and Hugo to never face the invisible wall because they seem to walk more towards the cutscene if they're walking backwards, if that makes sense. So you want to make them turn enough that they move towards the cutscene trigger, but not enough that they turn around all the way. That cutscene trigger also won't get triggered, it won't be available if guards are alerted. As always, I recommend if Beatrice has been spotted or you see guards being alerted, reset to the checkpoint. You can do the invisible wall bullying kind of fast, but not too fast. You have to find your own rhythm. As I said, try to practice it. That's the end of chapter 1. I hope that was explicative and see you in chapter 2.